The last season we talked about on this channel was winter. I was way behind the game, but this time I'm trying to get a foot up. Today we'll be talking about the top 10 fragrances from the designer realm when it comes to the season of spring. If you're interested in some new fragrances maybe you haven't heard of, or some more fragrances you have heard of and maybe you want to learn more about them, go ahead and stay right there. What's going on, everybody? My name is Joshua and this is our channel, ScentSense. To all loyal subscribers who continually come back each and every time one of these videos of mine are released, to you good folks at home or wherever you are, thank you. And to all you new people who may be checking out the channel for the very first time and you haven't made your mind up yet, this is a mask-free zone. It is a coronavirus-free zone. You can breathe easy. So jumping right into the list, I will be talking about a Big Beard Business classic. This is a fragrance that I learned about from Big Beard Business, and I bought it in one of the fragrance groups for like $10 actually. And I think that was with shipping. The guy just apparently really wanted to get rid of it and just didn't like it. His loss, my gain. The fragrance we're talking about at number 10 from the house of Burberry is none other than Burberry Touch. Burberry Touch is a fragrance that leans more towards that classic vibe with a much better and more fresh take on those classic lavendery, gentlemanly-like fragrances. For a fragrance that smells like there would be a lot of fragrances that smell like it, there aren't a lot like it, and for the prices you can have this for, in my opinion, it is a springtime steal. Thank you for that one, Beard. Again, coming in at number 10 from the house of Burberry, we have Burberry Touch. At number 9 is a fragrance that's also dirt cheap and also is a summertime classic, but I think it smells fantastic in the months of spring, because here in Louisiana, we don't really have spring. We have this season that charades as spring. It wears a mask like Batman and it sneaks up and makes you feel like, man, this 65-degree weather day is great. And then the very next day, it's 94 degrees and you're sweating buckshot. So enough of that. Coming from the house of Tommy Hilfiger, Tommy. As you can see, this bottle is quite low. When I got it, it was 75% full. Right now, it's only 50% full. I like the way that looks. Look at that, like a wave. Let's see if I can do that in slow motion for you. So now playing around, this is a classic 90s fragrance. When in the 90s, they went super fresh. You had Aqua de Jo, you had this, you had Hugo Boss, Hugo by Hugo Boss. You had Curve for Men. Lots and lots of 90s fragrances were really fresh, mass-appealing fragrances. And then we leaned away from that, but it seems like the circle is making its way back, kind of like it does with the fashion world. Nevertheless, this one is easily a super easy dumb reach in the months of spring and summer, and it won't hurt your pocketbook. If you're looking for something that's fresh, a dumb reach, something easy to wear, and something that Classy Scent says is his favorite fragrance of all time, you should check it out. That is Tommy by Tommy. At number 8 is a very youthful fragrance. I just got my hands on it. I haven't really had a whole lot of experience with it, not nearly as much as I would like to, but I'm going to be wearing this one a lot for spring, so it's gonna be in my top 10 for spring. You can follow me on Instagram if you don't believe me. I know a lot of people will say, oh, these are the fragrances I'm gonna wear, and then they don't wear them. So I'm gonna actually let you guys follow me this spring and this summer, and you'll be able to see if I actually do what I told you I was gonna do. The fragrance we're talking about comes from a clothing brand. It comes from a popular clothing brand that is no longer available where I'm from. The fragrance is First Instinct from the house of Abercrombie & Fitch. Abercrombie & Fitch is the house that came out with that fragrance that everyone knows. You smelled it when you walked in the stores. It was pumped in through the vents. That would be Abercrombie Fitch Fierce. That's a classic fragrance that everyone loves, including Jeremy Fragrance. I think recently they sent him some special bottle saying thank you for loving on our fragrance, which is kind of cool. This one, however, is not like that fragrance. That fragrance is more of a musky, fresh fragrance. This is more of a bright, fresh fragrance. This one leans towards a note of watermelon. This is crisp, this is inviting, and this is probably a little more youthful than the average fragrance that I would wear, but I'm gonna give it a shot and see where it goes. Coming in at number 8 on the top 10 fragrances I'll be wearing this spring, we're talking about Abercrombie & Fitch First Instinct. At number 7 is a fragrance that is highly touted in the grown man world, this is a fragrance from the house of Tom Ford. This is something that I can easily wear to the office. It's something that makes me feel more distinguished and more gentlemanly. And it hosts a note that I'm starting to grow more and more fond of, the note of vetiver. I'm sure you've guessed it. And if you haven't guessed it, welcome from getting out from underneath that rock, talking about Tom Ford's Gray Vetiver. Our number 7 fragrance, as I just previously stated, is a fragrance that is super fresh, and this is really, really gentlemanly. Vetiver, in my opinion, is a gentlemanly fresh note. Notes like fig, bergamot, those super fresh and bright and inviting notes. To me, those are slightly more youthful. This is something that you would wear if you were wearing a button down, something kind of like this. This is something to wear to the office. This is definitely something to wear if you're over the age of 30. I would not suggest this to a younger crowd. So if you are a younger gentleman and you tend to reach for fragrances such as First Instinct or Dior Sauvage or Abercrombie Fitch Fierce or whatever fragrances you know and have come to love, this would not be one to reach for. If you're over the age of 30 and you're a grown man, this is something that you should definitely check out if you haven't. At number 7 from the house of Tom Ford, Tom Ford's Gray Vetiver. At number 6 is the soap scent from the designer realm. This is a fragrance that was made by Mr. Mugler himself. He smelled a soap that he smelled in a very high-end hotel when he was traveling abroad and said, I want to make that. And he made something very close to it. And we've all known it and come to love this fragrance. From the house of Mugler, we have Mugler Cologne. This is my bedtime fragrance. I wear this a lot at night. The dent that you see in this bottle is simply from me just doing this and then just walking right through it. This is something that is perfect and easy to wear at any time during springtime. You can wear this to the pool, you can wear this to sit out and barbecue, you can wear this to the office, you can wear this to sleep in, and no one will be offended. And you can spray this a million times and no one would care. This is not gonna choke anyone out. This is not gonna be cloying. This is super clean and classic. At number 6 from the house of Mugler, Mugler Cologne. At number 5 is a super synthetic orange mess in most people's minds. But in my opinion, this is one of the best orange designer scents out there, especially at such a low price tag. As I've stated about the fragrances before and this fragrance and the ones I'll mention later, some of these you can get for super cheap. And from the makeup brand of Clinique comes a fragrance called Happy For Men. This was a part of my holy trinity that I wore all the time through high school. It was this, Hugo by Hugo Boss, and Curve For Men. I then strayed and got involved with Acqua di Gio and also with the fragrance Very Sexy For Him from Victoria's Secrets, but this was one of my very first loves. What you're gonna get from this is a sparkling, zesty orange fragrance. That is literally all it is. It is very linear. This is something that's gonna smell clean. You're gonna smell like you just did laundry. Some people are gonna think you just smell like a super, super clean dude who just got out of the shower and used some kind of citrus-based body wash. This is a really, really great fragrance if you're looking for an orange, citrusy, bright, fresh fragrance at a very cheap price. Go ahead and check out this one right here, Clinique Happy For Men. At number 4 is my favorite fragrance from this flanker line. The line is the flankers of Lomo. Lomo has had many, many flankers, and the most popular of them being La Nuit de Lomo. In some cases, La Nuit de Lomo is even more popular than Lomo. But in my opinion, this under-talked about, underappreciated fragrance is the best of the line, including Lomo. This is a rose-based version of it. I'm sure you've guessed it by now, and if you haven't, you should definitely go check this one out. From the house of YSL, we're talking about Lomo Team. Lomo Team takes that Lomo DNA and then adds some yummy, sexy, alluring rose. Yes, rose. I know what you're thinking. You're thinking, oh my God, this is gonna smell super, super femme. This is one of those fragrances that goes way too far and pushes a lot of people away, especially guys who watch my channel. But if I'm wearing it, I promise you, you won't have a problem wearing it. I've tested most of the fragrances that come from the Lomo line, including fragrances such as Libra, La Nuit de Lomo, Alt Team, Sport, the original Lomo. The list goes on. And when it comes to this fragrance line, this one right here is easily my most complimented. Shout out to Jay Royal. He's the guy who kind of put this one on the map. Hashtag Alt Team. This one right here is easily, in my opinion, the sexiest fragrance from the line. So coming in at number 4 from the house of Yves Saint Laurent, we're looking at Lomo Team. At number 3 is my favorite fragrance of all time. And you would think that would make it number 1, but no, when it comes to springtime, this will not be the fragrance I reach for the most. This will be the fragrance I reach for when I can't make up my mind. This is easily, without a doubt, in my opinion, one of the most versatile Swiss Army knives of the fragrance world. It comes from the house of Versace. The fragrance is Versace Pour Homme. Now, if you look for this fragrance on websites such as FragranceNet, it's going to say Versace's signature. So don't get lost looking for this bad boy and end up buying the wrong thing. This one right here is easily my favorite fragrance of all time. I've worn it for every special occasion imaginable. Births of children's, honeymoons, weddings, it doesn't matter. This is my go-to fresh, easy to wear Swiss Army knife dumb reach fragrance. If you're looking for a super easy to wear fragrance that's under $40 and is a blue fragrance, but in my opinion is the ultimate all-around fragrance for that genre, reach for this guy right here. Versace's Pour Homme. At number 2 is a fragrance that I think severely devastates Prada L'Homme when it comes to quality, when it comes to leaning more masculine, when it comes to just overall performance. In every category, every box, it checks and it beats Prada L'Homme, in my opinion, by a landslide. From the house of Dior, the fragrance that came out before Prada L'Homme, Dior Homme's O. This one right here is without a doubt one of the best office fragrances on the market. This is Iris done masculine. This is not going to be super lipsticky. This is not going to be choking or cloying. This is super clean, super suave, super fresh. This smells like I feel a white button-down shirt ought to smell. This is just really crisp. This is what I wear to the office. This is my easy grab-and-go fragrance. Just spray, throw it on, and oh, that's just so good, man. If you haven't smelled this and you own Prada L'Homme, you should take Prada L'Homme and you should throw it away and then buy this. No, don't actually throw it away. Don't be stupid. But buy this, because this is better. At number 2, from the house of Dior Homme, we have Dior Homme's O. At number 1, I feel is the most quintessential cheapie when it comes to the spring and summertime. This is without a doubt one that I feel that I helped put on the map. It was the first fragrance I ever reviewed. And in my opinion, it is the best green fragrance out of the designer realm, whether it's $20 or $200. Well, there's no designers that expensive. You get the point. This is easily my go-to when it comes to clean, fresh, and going to church. This is something that just takes a note of fig and makes it spectacular. From the clothing brand of Banana Republic, at number 1 is number 78, Vintage Green. Don't mind the number. The number only represents a certain year or a special time in the history of Banana Republic. 78 is the year that something happened. I don't remember what it was. It's inconsequential because it doesn't affect how the fragrance smells. It doesn't even lend towards how the fragrance smells. This is just super green and clean. This has a little bit of an earthy tendency to it when it comes to the note of fig. It starts off really clean, it gets a little dirty and a little earthy, and then it rounds back up with a slight citrusy blend. This can be had for like $30 to $40 at Banana Republic. You can buy it on discounters nowadays with the tester, like a tester without a cap, and it'll look just like this for like 20 something bucks. And you can usually find it at a Marshall's or TJ Maxx for about the same. Sometimes Banana Republic will run a special where it's like buy one, get one half off, or they'll just do 50% off their fragrances. I don't have a Banana Republic near me anymore, but if I did, this would be something I would stock up on. And as you can see, it's one of the few fragrances that I actually put a dent in. I love this guy. I even have a small travel version of it. Super clean, great fragrance. At number 1, when it comes to spring, what I'll be wearing this spring, Banana Republic's Vintage Green. All right, that about does it for me, folks. Those are 10 fragrances I'll be wearing this spring from the designer realm. I hope you found some fragrances that you can be interested in. Maybe go check out. I hope that some of these fragrances are ones you own and you feel like, yes, my thoughts on these fragrances have been validated. And if these are fragrances you think are utter trash and garbage, well, more power to you. Let me know in the comment section below what you think should have made the list. And while you're at it, when you're down there leaving a comment, go ahead and click on that red subscription button and go ahead and join the family. And if you do join the family, or if you're already a part of the family, go ahead and hit the notification bell. That way when my videos come out, you people will be the first to know. I mean, I don't know exactly which one of you will know, be the first to know. Whoever's like in a 5G area, maybe already has, you get it. All right, man, thanks again for stopping by. And as always, and most importantly, I'll smell each and every one of you later.